Keep it going for Catherine. Come on up, Catherine.
So for a long time in my family, there was a spoken understanding that my grandmother refused to watch the Ellen DeGeneres show because the host was a lesbian. And she used to say, the nerve of that woman being all gay in public like that. And my relatives used to joke about it at family dinners. And there was an unspoken understanding not to tell my grandmother that I was a lesbian. My uncle had said, she's pretty old already, so you should just, wait it out until she just passed away. So it became like another kind of family joke, like, don't tell grandma that Catherine's gay. And in college, I had this rainbow bracelet that I used to take off when I went into her house, even though I knew she wouldn't know what that meant. And sometimes she'd walk into the kitchen, and I'd be telling a story about a girl I was dating, and all of a sudden, tone it down to very G-rated and be like, she's such a nice friend. And then, it was just exhausting, though. And, the coming out process didn't feel very freeing if I was keeping secrets. Anyway, so the challenge with my grandmother was nerve-wracking. But she and I had that in common because she was no stranger to challenges. She had moved all the way across the country to be with her husband, who ended up dying really early. And she raised 12 kids, mostly by herself. She never finished school. And I didn't want to be one of those challenges because I thought that'd be really lame. Like having a queer granddaughter, what are you going to do with that? So whenever we hung out, I was a total nervous wreck. And so it was late summer, about 2 years after coming out, and a bunch of people were at Grandma's house. And the summer had been long and wonderful and full of this woman that I loved so much. And I was just sitting on the back porch, smiling and thinking about her. And Grandma came outside, and I think we were talking about how my younger sister was about to get her driver's license, which is already a terrifying thing. And then I asked her about how she and my grandfather met. It's a story I've heard a billion times, but I love hearing it again. She got the smile, and she was talking about what Grandpa was like in his early 20s and about their slightly sneaky courtship, because I learned a couple years back that she'd basically conned a priest into setting her up on a dinner date with my grandfather, which I thought was adorable and hilarious. And so she was telling me about him, and she has great stories, but mostly I love watching her talk about him. And I can tell that she still remembers exactly how his hand used to fit in hers and the intensity of his scent. He smelled like pipe tobacco and mint, and it's been over 2 decades, actually, since he passed away, and I know that she's thought of him every day, and she's telling me about him on the back porch that day. And she said, he was the best man I know, so you need to find yourself someone like that, someone who will love you and respect you and tell you you're beautiful, and someone to bring home to meet the family for family dinner. And without thinking, I said, well, I think I already have, Grandma. And then I was like, oh my God, I said that out loud. So I was like, I don't know what to do. And I was like, she's going to kill me. And what's going to happen? Oh my God, I'm a lesbian. She's going to kill me. And so she said, is he a nice boy? And I said, yes, she is a very nice lady. And the two of us looked at each other for a long time. And I have no idea what was running through her head, but mine was going something like, why are you still sitting here? Run. She's actually going to kill you. And she reached over and patted my hand and said, well, you tell her to come around any time, all right? And I was like, what? And I looked over, and she had this smile on her face that meant she was thinking of my grandpa. And she said, you're my granddaughter, and I love you so much. And you should know that there will always be a place at my dinner table for you and whoever you love. And I wanted to cry, and I wanted to hug her, and also wanted to make sure that she knew I was telling her I was gay, to be clear. But she said, she just kept looking at me and patting my hand, and so I was like, thank you. And since then, Grandma is the first to reprimand anyone who tells a gay joke. And my uncles are actually the worst offenders, and when someone says, like, okay, so a queer walks into a bar, she is the first to just slap him upside the head and tell him to cut it out. And every once in a while, I will even see the Ellen DeGeneres show playing in the living room. Because as it turns out, Ellen DeGeneres is not the only woman around that house with a lot of nerve.